Welcome back. So far we've done the front and rear differential change in the 2024 Chevy Colorado. Today we're going to be doing the transfer case. I'm going to be using ACDelco's DEXRON-VI. I know a lot of people in the automatic transmission uses the Mobile One Blue label, and that's actually what they recommend for the transmission itself, but for the actual transfer case, I've looked and researched, and the DEXRON-VI is recommended. So that's the stock fluid, that's what we'll be using. There hasn't been any problems from my understanding with the DEXRON-VI. It's a little bit cheaper, and I had already picked up 3 quarts of it. It does take between, I think, 1.6 quarts to 2 quarts. I did pick up 3 just in case. I'll show you the process. It looks a lot easier than honestly the front differential that I just done yesterday. I don't know exactly what placement you'll see these videos in, but I've done that yesterday. This process just looks a little bit simpler. There is one shield on the Trail Boss you have to take off. It's 4 13mm bolts. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that first. Your truck may not have this. I think some of the models do not include the transfer case cover, but the Trail Boss and I know the ZR2 do. So let's go ahead and get that removed, and then we'll get started on the fluid change. Transfer case is closer to the driver's side. Again, there's 4 bolts, 13mm that you'll be removing. As I mentioned previously in the other video, my 13mm went a miss. So I am using a wrench, but that will work. It's 2. Yeah, it's getting loose now. Okay, there's that bracket down, or the cover, the shielding. So here you go, it's uncovered. You have your drain right here at the very bottom. You have your field right above it, from my understanding. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure we can get that drain plug pulled out. And I am gonna go ahead and just have a pen underneath it, make sure I can pull it out, because honestly, from my understanding, no fluid should come out of that. If you don't have any issues, no fluid should come out of the field plug. And we'll just kind of go ahead and make sure we can get this one out first, because you don't want to actually take this out or take your drain plug out first if you can't get your field plug out, because that would be a bad day. So let's go and get the tool. I think it's a 3/8 wrench, and make sure we can get that field plug out or loose. You guys, I told you wrong. It's actually an 8 in an Allen key. So I'm using a socket. Luckily I had it. So hopefully this works. I haven't done this before, so we're learning together. Came loose. And it didn't, so we're good to go. And it doesn't look like, from what I can tell now, I don't know if that's a magnet. It doesn't look magnetized. It doesn't look like there's any thread sealant, but honestly I may put a hair on it just because, some tape, because the way that this is made. All right, since we got that one out, we can go ahead now and release the drain plug. Same size, 8. Came out pretty easy, it's pretty loose. And I'm gonna check the torque specs on this, and I'll let you know when we put it back in. May come out. Yep, that comes out pretty fast. I have a mess to clean up in a second, but that's okay. As mentioned before we put this back in there, I'm gonna clean it up. This is the bottom one. And I am gonna put just a tiny bit of this on it. This is yellow tape, pop tape, or thread tape. It's supposed to protect against the oils. It's gonna be 18 foot-pounds, or I think 218 inch-pounds tightness. Keep in mind that this will change the torque value a little bit. That's my only concern. It's something I don't like. All right, it took me a second, but I got the pop sealer, or you know, I got it wrapped. So we're gonna put it back in there. You don't wrap the first couple threads. Ideally, I don't think. That's what I've always been an impression of. Let's get it in there a little bit tight. Now let's go and get the get it ready to actually insert the fluid right quick, guys. I got a transfer pump from Advanced Auto. I got a different one that I was using for my diff. This is actually a cheaper version, but I figured for this job it might be actually easier. It's probably better to change out if you're using a different fluid to use a different transfer pump. But we're gonna see how it works. We're gonna see if it works pretty good or not together. Let's see if I can get you up there so you can see what I'm doing a little bit better. Make sure you can see it. Yeah, you're good. So, just gonna stick it in here and start feeling. I hope you're able to see. Hey, you see that dribble there, but that's not, from my understanding, that's not full. I'll show you the reason it's doing that. There's a gate almost like right there, and you'll know when it's full. It'll come out more than that little bit of dribble. All right, we're back with the second quart. Trying to bend that tube down just a little bit more so I can get it in that hole a little bit better. And there it is, guys. It's full. As you can see, it's coming out, dripping out, and that's where you can tell, dripping out at a steady stream. We will not add any more. I'm gonna cap it up now, and it's good to go. Now I'm gonna show you right quick, if I can, the gate I was talking about. I don't know if I can get to it or not. You might be able to see it. I might be able to zoom in a second on when I edit the hole. There it is. You just have to tilt the tube down through that gate, more or less, I assume is what you would call that, but it will go in. Well, I've just gone and made a mess. I'll have to get some brake cleaner and clean that up, but that's okay. Start it by hand. $18 foot-pounds for this one as well. Okay. There we go. That's good. All right, I'm gonna check it one more time just to make sure I always like the triple check. There we go, that's good. We are good now. I'm gonna clean it up just to make sure we don't have any leaks, and then we'll put air cover back on. It's all cleaned up for the most part. And that's all there is for that job, honestly, after you get the cover back on. Tip, if you take this off, make sure you leave it on loose as you're putting it back on, because this was I think from my understanding, yes, it's a GM part, but it's aftermarket GM part. You can get it for your regular Colorado. So they make it more so as an additional part, the way they got it set up. But I'll be honest with you, the part actually saved me last weekend, because I know I did actually make use of it. This cover, this actually skid plate. I think it did save my transfer case from a rock. I know it did actually. All right, so I'm gonna finish tightening this up, and we'll finish our thoughts at the end of the video. All right, so I finished. I I will say the job isn't too bad. It takes less than 2 quarts, at least for the 2024 Chevy Colorado Trail Boss. I think right at the 1.6, maybe 1.7. So if you buy 2 quarts, the DEXRON-VI, you'll be absolutely fine. Again, I'll put the price in the description below where you can actually purchase it if you'd like to. It is actually, it's what's recommended. Now, again, you can get the blue label Mobile One. I know people have used that in the transfer case, and I'm sure it's absolutely fine. But now for my use case scenario, I've already bought 3 quarts of it. I just thought I'd just as well use it since it was recommended. Keep in mind, it does take the 8 on the Allen key wrench. It's best to have one that will connect to a socket so you can get your correct torque specs. It is 18 foot-pounds both on the fill and the drain. But it's really pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Make sure you have a good transfer pump. I would switch it out. I wouldn't use the same one for your diffs as for your automatic transmission fluid. But that's just some tips. But as always, stay driven. I will see you all in the next video. Bye.